Hey guys, Recovery Addict here. I am here in Centerville, Utah at an 1800s, I think it's like 1840s building site. This was a building that was used as a dance hall, a community gathering point, a general store, I think the post office at one time, just a ton of history around this building. And since I was a kid, this area that I'm at right now was covered in pavement. I just drove by and noticed it was completely torn up, so I thought I've got to stop and check it out. So I'm going to detect this. It's just a small area. I'll detect it real quick and see what I can find, and hopefully have some good items to show you.
All right, this is my first find of the day, and I think it is an old pocket knife. It doesn't look like much right now. I just barely pulled it out, but definitely got some show of curved ends on the edge here. I think that's what it is. I think it's a pocket knife, which is just awesome. I have to clean this up. I can see there's definitely some things on here I want to see a little better. I'm stoked about this. Wow. Sweet. We'll take it. Okay, I've got a pretty solid signal here. It's jumping around from a 26 to a 28. And it's pretty big, so I'm not sure. This is why we wear gloves, folks. Right there. Big piece of glass. And that looks like an exhaust cover. Okay, I've got a 1920 signal right here, which is in the penny range. And the time period for this area is right for Indian heads. Yeah, something big down here for sure. Hey, would you look at that? We have another pocket knife. That is a beauty. And I think this is the same type as the other because it also had this plate along the side, which is just awesome. So I'm going to have to figure out how to clean this up best and see if I can actually see what brand it was or who made it. This was a general store right here in the late 1800s. Just the opening was just a 20-30 feet from where I'm sitting right now. Got a weak 12 signal right here. It's showing near the surface, but it might be deeper down. Thought I had a marble for a second. It's just a nice round stone. I think I'll keep that for a slingshot. Let's see if we can sense it on the surface here. So this could be in the aluminum range, obviously. We have found some aluminum here already. This site was used for a long time after, oh, there we go. After it was a general store. Just got a piece of scrap metal, can't tell what it was. Just broke it, but can't see any imprint or anything on it. Okay, I thought I had a piece of trash right on the surface, and I've got some sort of a metal wrapper with red powder in the middle. So I'm not sure if this is a chalk or if it was a paint. But I mean, that is just brilliant red. Just breaking it here. It's so fragile. Can't see any markings on it. It's definitely been flattened quite a bit. It definitely looks old. It's a really, really thin case on this, almost like a foil wrapper. Just bends at the slightest touch. So I'm thinking it was a chalk. Interesting. Okay, I got a good 20 signal here, but it was showing it was several inches deep. There. Would you look at this? I've got a coin shape. I'm hoping this is an Indian or at least a weedy. It does look like a penny. I can see United States around the outside. Oh, just want to brush it ever so lightly here. I've got some copper on here. If we can get this backside. I did not bring anything to scrape this with delicately. Let's see if I can get something off here. It is a thick coin. So it looks like approximately a penny thickness. And the font around the outside does not look like a modern coin, where it says United States. It's almost like a blocky type lettering. And I think that might be an Indian head. Might be holding it the wrong direction here. But I definitely see a face, if you can see that. Let's make sure you can see this. I can see a face sort of looking to the left there. And then I can see United States on the side over there. So I think I've got an Indian head penny. Can't wait to see what the year is, but I'm going to take this home where I can clean it more gently than I can here. Because this would be my first Indian head penny of the year. Okay, I've got some pretty jumpy signals around here, but they were repeatable. So I just wanted to, that's a bit of an old brick or siding tile, something. Just wanted to dig it live and see what we could find. VDI was all over the place, but so we could have some iron, some faultsing a little higher. Get around where the signal is. That could be why. A big old nail. Take that one with us as well, cleaned up. Got some more glass. Got a low iron signal right here, but it keeps popping up to 20 when I go over it as well. So I might have two objects in here. It could just be some more faulting from the iron. But with what I found here already, I definitely want to check it out. Got a whole bunch of broken glass in here. And looks like another square nail. Sounds like another square nail in here. Soil is just really, really compacted. And the way I'm digging it up with these big, huge rust stains in the soil, looks like it hasn't been disturbed in quite a while, even though it's right near the surface, which is just impressive. There we go. I just broke the corrosion off the outside. Getting a lot of those. Okay, I got another piece of glass. This actually has a curve to it, and it's pretty thick. So I think this probably came from some sort of a bottle, and it does look pretty old. It's not a uniform thickness, So that's some good looking glass. We have found just a ton of square nails here. A lot of hardware, probably from the fire when part of this burned down. Okay, so I got some in there, but I think I got something out as well. Looks like some sort of a screw, possibly more modern. Helps if I turn that on, huh? I don't think that was my original target. I'll have to come back to that one. So I'm still a ways off on that one. Let me see what I've got here. Any ideas, guys? I've got no clue. Looks the edges look jagged, but it doesn't look like any sort of jewelry thing. It's more like a piece of pipe or a pot or something. A broken piece of metal with a curve to it. So I'll clean that up as well when we get home. Take a look at it. There we go. Oh yeah. Wow. That's a beauty. Now, this does not look like a nail. Looks like it has a deliberately rounded end on one side and a larger deliberately rounded end on the other. I'm gonna need some help on this one, guys. Not sure if you can see that well. Slight curve to it. Interesting. Okay, so this is the old building I'm detecting next to. Just want to show you a little bit of what it looks like now. In this area right here is where they've done the sidewalk tear out, and you can see a couple spots where I've dug. Still a lot of signals in here. Gonna need a little more time to come back, possibly find some more stuff here if I can before they pave over it. Not sure what their schedule is for that, but while I was here I did talk to some neighbors, and I'm working on a permission nearby that could also be beneficial for me. So hopefully that will work out, and I'll have a video from there as well. All right, guys, I'm back at home. Time for a little cleanup, and I'll go over what I found. I couldn't get all of this on camera because it got dark and just wasn't able to pick up the footage. But starting at the top, found a lot of square nails and a bolt. Some long ones, some short ones. I guess these are not really, well, I guess they're still square nails, but really, really crusty, just really corroded. This one I think is a square nail still, even though it has like a section that sort of glistens. I'm not sure what causes that. It's right there by my finger there. Just a curved square nail, I guess. Not sure what these things are. This little piece here, I tried to clean it off as best I could. It is threaded in the middle. You can see this. So it might be, my best guess actually is that this piece and this piece here next to it both were part of an old lamp streetlight system. And I don't know exactly how it would be configured. This one actually has a little S hook attached to the side. But I think this was part of the old streetlights. And when they tore it down and put in the electric streetlights, they just dumped it on the ground and left it as they did in the day. I did find the cover to an exhaust, I believe, for somebody's car to make it look cooler than it really is. Found two washers. This little guy right here is Got a little indentation on it. And that one there, one of some of my first finds. Little piece of plaster from the wall that fell down. Glass-wise, I found the base of 2 bottles. This one says 8038, contents 12 fluid ounces. It says 63. And this guy says not to be refilled. It's, I think that's a 41 with a little stamp on there. Not sure what they came from. It's obviously some soda. Lots of glass shards. I actually threw a bunch of these away. There was tons of glass shards. This was the coolest glass shard I found. You can actually see striations in there. That's not just dirt. That's in the glass itself. A little color to the finish there as well. So that was pretty neat. As far as the other junk, I think this is a tube of chalk or makeup. This red powder got over everything I stuck in my pouch, so that was a mistake. Found a couple aluminum lids. This guy turned out to be a crushed aluminum lid. Some little bits of metal. I think this is part of a toy cap gun. Looks like part of the hammer or something for a cap gun. And this is apparently the same type of metal, so that might also go to it. Treasures, as far as the relics go, I found 2 pocket knives. You can see the wood with the grain on this upper one. And then it has that red is from that little tube of chalk that I found. But it's got that little plate on the side. Haven't really done much to clean these up yet, just because I don't want to damage that wood. And the other one actually has a either silver type end to it. So I'm surprised how little tarnish is on there. It just seems to be in really good shape. So maybe the other ends will clean up and look like that as well. But it also has the little plate on the side. The wood on this one is pretty much completely gone though. So that was cool. I'd have to give a big shout out to my wife. Thank you for letting me borrow your toothbrush to help me clean these. I will return it. I'll rinse it off, of course. Just kidding. She'd kill me. Only coin of the day was the Indian head penny from 1904. The front, you can barely make out the Indian head. It does have the laurel wreath on the headdress, and the back you can see the 1 cent, but that's about all you can get, and it's just falling apart when I try to clean it. So that's probably as good as it's going to get, unless I can find a new way to clean it up. Anyway, if any of you know what these 2 items are, if I'm wrong, if it's not part of the gas lamp system, do let me know. If you've seen something like this before, either metal detecting or at an antique shop or something, I am curious. It looks pretty neat. I thought it was a doorknob at first, but once I started cleaning it up, it obviously wasn't. So all in all, it was a great evening out metal detecting. This took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and might go back and do one more pass over the same area just before they pave it over again. See what I missed. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.